Greetings, SAM students. This is the first video in the Semester Review Part 2. Remember, it's always best to try the problems first before you go through the answers. I'm going to be providing the answers and also the work to go along with them. Here's numbers 1 and 2. When completing factorial, you multiply that number by each number that's smaller than it until you get down to 1. And remember, 0 factorial is always defined as 1. For number 2, we're going to use the fundamental counting principle. If the first letter must be an N, there is only one choice for the first letter, and the last letter must be an L, so the last letter only has one choice. And from there, you have 13 letters to choose from, 12 all the way down to 1, and you end up getting a very big number, which is 6,227,020,800 different combinations. For number 3, this is a combination because order doesn't matter. I used 29 because there were 29 students in this class, but you might have used a different number. And he's choosing 6 students, and you get 475,020 different ways. Number 4, you draw 2 cards out of a standard deck of cards and do not replace them. This tells you that these are dependent events. Do not replace the first one after drawing the second. What's the probability that the first card is a queen and the second card is an 8? Well, there's 4 cards in a deck out of 52 cards. If you don't put that card back, now there's 51 cards, but there are still 4 8s. And when you multiply, you get 4 out of 663 after you reduce. When you're completing a combination, remember it's n factorial on the top, n is 9, over n minus r, which is 7 factorial on the bottom, times r factorial, which is 2 times 1. Everything from 7 down cancels out, so you're left with 9 times 8, which is 72 on the top, over 2. And on your test, I'm perfectly fine if you use your calculator. The calculator steps are math, scroll over to prob, choose the NCR. Before you hit math, you have to hit the first number. In this case is a 9. And then after you hit NCR and enter, you select the second number, which is 2. Either way is fine on a test. I got 45 for the next one, and then 35 for the last one. Permutation is different. You still have 9 factorial on the top, but now you only have 9 minus 2, or 7 factorial on the bottom. Everything from 7 down cancels out, leaving you with 9 times 8, which is 72. The steps are similar on the calculator, except for instead of choosing NCR, you choose NPR. And then I got, for the second one, 181,440,000, 1,814,400, and then 840. For number 7, it asks, what is the probability that you flip 3 coins and get, part A, exactly 3 heads? So the first thing I did was list all possible combinations of flipping 3 coins. Only one of them has exactly 3 heads, so the probability is 1 out of 8 total possibilities. Part B asks for at least 2 heads. Well, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 that have at least 2 heads out of 8 total possibilities, which reduces to 1/2. Number 8, 1 coin is randomly selected from a jar containing 70 nickels, 100 dimes, 80 quarters, and $50 coins. Find the probability and odds. Remember, probability is number of favorable outcomes over total number of outcomes. The favorable outcomes in this case are the quarters. There are 80 quarters over 300 total coins, which reduces to 4 out of 15. Odds is favorable over unfavorable. In this case, favorable is quarters. There are still 80 quarters. Unfavorable would be not quarters, and there are 220 that are not quarters, and that reduces to 4 over 11. Number 9, the Germantown Deli offers a lunch special in which you can choose a sandwich, a side dish, and a beverage. If there are 10 different sandwiches, 12 different side dishes, and 7 different beverages from which to choose, there are 840 different lunch specials. That's another use of the fundamental counting principle. Number 10 is a misuse of statistics. Did you know that states with higher divorce rates have lower death rates? This implies that marriage kills you. But it's actually misleading because states that have younger people have higher divorce rates and lower death rates. So the explanation is the population is younger. Number 11, you select a card from a standard deck. Find the probability of the following. Selecting a 7 of diamonds. There's only one 7 of diamonds in a deck out of 52 possible cards. Part B, selecting a diamond. There are 13 cards that are diamonds over 52 possible cards, which reduces to 1/4. Selecting a diamond, heart, club, or spade. Well, all 52 cards are either diamond, heart, club, or spade out of 52 total cards, so the probability is 1/2. Selecting a red club, why, there's no such thing. So 0 out of 52 cannot happen. Next, we're going to construct a frequency distribution and a histogram from the data set with 5 classes. I'm going to find the class width, which is max minus min divided by number of classes. The max is 88, and the min is 7. Over a number of classes, they told us that, it's 5. And I get 16.2. Remember, for a frequency distribution, always round up. I know you want to round that to 16, but you always round up to 17. Next, you start with your minimum number, and along the side, you go up by your class width each time. So 7 plus 17 is 24, plus 17 is 41, plus 17 is 58, plus 17 is 75. Now I want these to be ranges, so this will be 7 to 23, 41 to 40, 41 to 57, and 58 to 74. The last one, just add 17. This will be 75 to 91. Next, you make tally marks, and I'm going to go ahead and do that quickly. I ended up getting 10 numbers in this range, 8 numbers in this range, 11 numbers in this range, 2 numbers in this range, and 3 numbers. I would add these up and make sure your total down here matches your total numbers up here, so you didn't miss any. Next, you draw your axes, classes on the horizontal axis, and frequency on the y-axis. And for a histogram, the bars must touch. So we had 10, 8, 11, 2, and 3. The last problem I'm going to do on this video is the box and whisker plot. Stay tuned for part 2, which will be the rest of the packet. The first thing I did was go into Stat, Edit on my calculator, and I plugged these numbers into L1. Then I went into Stat, Calc, and selected 1var stats. If you scroll down to the bottom, it gives you your big 5, so to speak. I found that my min was 15, Q1 was 22.5, the median was 35, Q3 was 57.5, and the max was 70. Make sure you draw your axis first. I'm going to go up by tens. As long as you go up by a reasonable number, you're golden. And then plot your 5 points, 15, 22.5, 35, 57.5, and 70. Last but not least, draw your box and your whiskers.